Are you looking for the best budget camera for action shots? In this video, we will look at some of the best budget camera for action shots on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Panasonic LUMIX FC300 Digital Camera. The Panasonic LUMIX DMC FC300K long zoom digital camera offers 4K video features and a Leica DC lens with 24x zoom and a bright f2.8 aperture across the entire zoom range. Capture moments with superb 4K imaging performance in both video and exclusive 4K photo. The 4K photo function can be used in 3 different modes, all allowing you to capture that perfect moment at a high burst rate of 30 frames/photos per second. 4K video delivers a far more intense viewing experience that is 4 times larger than Full HD, resulting in a much higher level of detail. Built into a splash-proof/dust-proof rugged camera body, the Leica lens offers 5-axis hybrid optical image stabilization, assures steady photos and videos, and a high-sensitivity sensor with superb low-light image quality. The LUMIX FC300 digital camera features a snug, hand-fitting grip and an intuitive level of operation. Control remotely by using the Panasonic Image app on your Wi-Fi-enabled smartphone or tablet. View the image, set the focus, or release the shutter from a distance, and then transfer images for sharing on social media. The Creative Panorama function allows you to create dynamic panoramic photos by simply panning the camera. Panasonic Depth from Defocus, DFD, Autofocus, AF, technology instantly calculates the distance between foreground and background and quickly brings the subject into focus in one fast, continuous movement. Disclaimer: 35mm camera equivalent, 25/600mm 4K photo feature extracts megapixels photo out of a 4K video sequence up to QFHD, 3840 by 2160 pixels, 30 frames per second, 100 bits/s. 4K photo feature extracts megapixels photo out of a 4K video sequence up to QFHD, 3840 by 2160 pixels, 30 frames per second, 100 bits/s. 5-axis hybrid OIS works in video recording except for 4K video recording. Zoom Intelligent Zoom 2x, Extra Optical Zoom, Easy, 1.23x, Extra Optical Zoom, Easy, 1.95x. At number 2. Canon EOS Rebel T6i. I am a wildlife photographer, and I used to travel to places where I could find the animals in their habitat. It is my passion to get pictures of wild animals in a way that it gave you goosebumps. I was planning to go for another new experiment. I need a camera that gives me powerful performance and is affordable. I discovered the Canon EOS Rebel T6i, the best budget camera for action shots. I took it to the Amazon forest to capture the wildlife still there. Features: model Canon EOS Rebel T6i effective megapixel 24.2MP image sensor, CMOS, APS-C, ISO range 100 to 12,800 extender to 25,600 shutter speed, January 30, 4000 SSD storage, SD/SDXC aperture range, f/3.5, 22 lens 18 to 55mm image stabilization sensor, shift dimension 129 by 101 by 78mm, weight 485g, ISO/shutter speed. I was hiding in the bushes with my camera on standby, and I set it on a tripod. I had to capture the movement of the cheetah with my camera. As per the research, this place was full of them, so I could quickly grab 1 or 2 in a picture. I had to wait for 5 minutes for the target to come in my camera exposure, and I would capture the perfect click. Setting ISO at 200 and shutter speed at January 2000 SCC would allow us to capture the speedy cheetah in a still. Aperture/depth of field: it was a shaded area where I saw 2 of them approaching me. I set the aperture at f/5 to get a wider depth of field in the picture. The picture turns out well with everything that comes sharp in the picture. White balance/frame rate: it was a time of evening, and all the birds flew towards their nest at dawn. I had to take their clicks before they vanished. Setting the white balance at shady gave me fantastic clicks with perfect balance. I set the frame rate at 30 frames per second to capture the clicks of sparrows in the pictures. Why is this camera the best? This camera has splendid features on a low budget, and this lightweight camera is easy to grab and hold for long waiting shots. An on-screen shooting guide is available to guide you, and battery life is enough to get 500 shots on one charge. This all suits the long day shot. Conclusion: the camera is best suited to capture the fast-moving action in a still with no effort. If you are looking for a camera that is easy to use and gives you excellent results, then you must have this camera. At number 3. Panasonic LUMIX FZ1000. The latest edition of popular high-zoom FZ series, a hybrid Panasonic LUMIX FZ1000 digital camera, boasts a large 1-inch sensor plus 4K photo and 4K video recording capability. A 16x optical zoom like a DC Vario Elmerit lens, 35mm camera equivalent, 25 to 400mm, is integrated to achieve high descriptiveness in detail and resolution to corners. The LUMIX FZ1000 also produces stunning defocus together with the large-sized MOS sensor. Minimum aperture is extended to f11. The camera also provides the Zoom Compose Assist function to help regain the subject quickly when sight is lost in telephoto shooting. Its high-sensitivity MOS sensor boasts high S/N ratio, making it possible to capture clear images with minimum noise even when shot at high ISO. L monochrome and L monochrome D modes are added to photo style, making it possible to shoot dynamic monochrome photos with emphasized highlights and shadows while preserving the details. The LUMIX FZ1000 records exceptionally smooth, high-resolution QFHD 4K video in 3840 by 2160 at 30p or 24p in MP4. Taking full advantage of 4K technology, you can enjoy 4K photo to capture unmissable moments at 30 frames per second and save in 8MP high-resolution photos. The FZ1000 digital camera integrates Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity for a more flexible shooting experience with instant image sharing. Choosing the best shot out of hundreds of frames recorded with 4K photo is now easier with the added auto marking function. Auto marking lets you jump to the nearest frame where the differences are obvious, minimizing the time it takes to choose your best shot. Disclaimers: *, the Leica DC Vario Elmerit lenses are manufactured using measurement instruments and quality assurance systems that have been certified by Leica Camera AG based on the company's quality standards. Keywords: LUMIX, Panasonic LUMIX, digital camera, hybrid camera, LUMIX FZ1000, LUMIX FZ1002, FZ1002, FZ1000K, FZ1000, FZ1000 IK, DCFZ1002, DCFZ1000 IK, DCFZ1002, DCFZ1000 At number 4. Nikon D500. I had to attend the dance competition to grab some pictures over there. It was a finale, and the 5 best teams performed on stage. The organizers hired me as they wanted me to capture the clicks in a way that would be used for promotions. The dancers were perfect, moving quickly and changing postures within seconds. It was challenging to capture the still while dancing, so I selected the Nikon D500 to capture such quick moments, which I found the best budget camera for action shots. Features: model, Nikon D500 effective megapixel, 20.9MP image sensor, APS-C CMOS sensor, ISO range, 51,200 to 164,000 shutter speeds, 1/8000 storage, UHS-2 SDXC and SDHC cards, viewfinder, 3.2-inch 2359K image stabilizer, VR image stabilization, dimension, 147 by 115 by 81mm weight, 760G ISO/shutter speed. There was a group of dancers that were ready to perform on stage. They danced in a group, and the boys lifted the girls and changed their position within seconds. It gave me goosebumps as to how they could do it so perfectly. I set the ISO at 800 with a January 2000 SEC shutter speed to capture the quickly changing position. Aperture/depth of field, a solo dance performance gave such an epic performance, as she was doing Bella dance with perfection. Her dance was so good and smooth, it was a stunning performance. I set the aperture in a way that gave me a shallow depth of field. Setting a wider aperture at f/1.4 gave me shallow depth in the field. White balance/frame rate, as the stage was dim light with the spotlight on the performers. I set the white balance at shady to capture the pictures in perfect white balance. Setting the frame rate at 10 frames per second allowed me to continuously shoot a couple's performance. Why is this camera the best? This camera is lightweight and easy to use and handle, making it perfect for an outdoor shoot. The autofocus captures the moving object so perfectly. Large sensors can capture the picture even in low light. Conclusion: if you want to go for wildlife and sports photography, you can trust this camera blindfolded, as it will never give you an underrated performance. At number 5. Canon EOS 7D Mark II. Football is a game that you cannot predict with one glance only. It would be best if you had a complete focus on a camera. I am also a football lover and attend almost every match in the auditorium. I witnessed the football match with the camera so I could have the clicks of the game. I had Canon EOS 7D Mark II to capture the event still, and it showed me the best budget camera for action shots. The clicks come out perfectly. My magazine owner loves the click I capture from my camera. Features: model Canon EOS 7D Mark II effective megapixel 20.2 MP image sensor CMOS ISO range 1160000 shutter speed 1/8000 SSD storage SD/SDXC/SDHC viewfinder 1.04 million. Lens 90mm image stabilization doesn't have dimension 5.85 * 4.43 * 3.08 weight 2 pounds ISO/shutter speed. Footballers were playing wildly, they chased and grabbed the ball from one and each other. Players seem like they are fighting hard. I had to capture the shot in which one player throws the ball toward another. He was in the air and threw a ball with full strength. I set the ISO at 500 and the shutter speed at 1/2500 seconds. Aperture/depth of field: the player who caught the ball showed some tricks and was able to take full ownership of the ball, and he went to do a goal. With full strength, he throws the ball toward the basket. I took the shots of him by creating a shallow depth of field in it. I set the aperture at f/2.5 to get the snap. White balance/frame rate: it was evening, but the area was brightening with lights, so I set the white balance at the auto to adjust the balance with the required amount of contrast. I set the frame rate at 10 frames per second to capture the clicks without interruption. Why is this camera the best? This camera allowed high image quality with a wide ISO range and sharper images from this camera. The camera can take continuous shots with 10 fps and autofocus points up to 65 cross-type. Conclusion: the one who wants to capture a speedy moving object picture can use this camera to get the perfect shot of the action. The camera that has fantastic pictures come at an affordable price. At number 6. Canon EOS 90D. I am a good swimmer, and I regularly went for swimming. In my group, I was famous for taking a good time underwater swimming. My hobby is taking photographs. I brought a new camera that is the best budget camera for action shots. I needed to testify in action shots and took it to the swimming area. There were so many swimmers practicing for the competition. I feel pleased as I can capture the fastest moving action with my camera. I took many pictures with my camera. It gave me goosebumps by showing such magnificent clicks. Features: model Canon EOS 90D effective megapixel 32.5 MP image sensor APS CMOS ISO range 100 to 25,600 shutter speed 1/16,000 SSD storage SDHC/SDXC aperture f/3.5-5.6 lens 18 to 135 mm image stabilization is not available dimension 5.54x 4.13x 3.03 weight 701 gram ISO/shutter speed. I was in the area where swimmers were diving in the water. It was a 5 feet high area through which swimmers take a jump in the water. I had to take the click of them while jumping and diving in the water. I set the ISO at 500 and shutter speed at January 3000 SCC to capture the perfect picture. Aperture/depth of field: next, the swimmers were actively swimming in the water, underwater, and over the water. I captured the right moment when the swimmer took his head above the water's surface while creating a shallow depth of field. I set the aperture at f/3.5 to take the perfect click. White balance/frame rate: as there was glass around the swimming pool, sunlight could sweep into the pool and get a beautiful reflection from the water. I set the white balance at sunny and put the frame rate at 10 frames per second to take the beautiful clicks in the continuous click. Why is this camera the best? This camera can give up to 32.5 MP resolution pictures with the perfect and fastest shutter speed. It has long battery life that enables this camera to the long shot. The continuous shooting can allow the user to take the perfect click in a row. Conclusion: this camera gave an outstanding performance with perfect colors capturing and showing many details.